Sunday dinner at my parents' house always followed the same script. Mom's pot roast. Dad's complaints about money. My brother Kevin showing off his latest purchase. And me sitting quietly while they discussed my finances like I wasn't there. But tonight would be different. Sage, we need to talk, Dad said, setting down his fork with that familiar tone of disappointment. Your mother and I have been more than patient, but it's time you stepped up. I was 29 years old. For the past 6 years, I'd been the family's emergency fund while they told everyone I worked from home doing something with computers. What they didn't know was that I'd founded CloudTech Security, a cybersecurity firm with government contracts, corporate clients across 40 states, an annual revenue of $280 million. My personal net worth was $340 million. Stepped up how? I asked, already knowing the answer. We're refinancing the house, Mom said. We need $150,000 to cover some debts and the closing costs. You've been living here rent-free your whole life. You owe us. I hadn't lived with them in 11 years. But facts never mattered during these conversations. Kevin grinned from across the table. Come on, sis. It's not like you need savings anyway. You're single, no kids, just working on that laptop all day. What are you even spending money on? Kevin was 32, worked in sales making $60,000 a year, and drove a $95,000 Range Rover I'd unknowingly financed through a loan my parents co-signed in my name without permission. That detail, discovered by my forensic accountant 8 months ago, was just one item on a very long list. How much do you have saved? Dad demanded. Ballpark figure. Enough, I said carefully. Don't be evasive. We're your parents. We have a right to know. He leaned forward. I'm guessing maybe $50,000? $75,000? That's more than enough to help family. I'd been helping family for 6 years. Monthly transfers of $3,000 that became $5,000, then $8,000. Emergency requests for medical bills, car repairs, property taxes. I'd given them $420,000 in direct transfers over 6 years while they complained I wasn't doing enough. But the real problem discovered during my forensic audit was worse. Credit cards opened in my name. Auto loans I never authorized. Even a second mortgage on their house using my credit score and forged financial documents. Total fraudulent debt, $680,000. Dad, we should discuss this privately, I said. No. His voice rose. We're discussing it now. You owe us everything. We fed you, clothed you, put a roof over your head for 18 years. The least you can do is help when we're struggling. Struggling. Kept my voice level. Kevin just got back from Cabo. Mom's wearing a Cartier bracelet. You joined that exclusive golf club last month. That's different. Those are investments in our future, in our happiness. You're just hoarding money while your family suffers. Dad's face was red now. I want to see your bank statements. Right now. Prove you don't have the money to help. Mom nodded. It's only fair, Sage. If you really can't afford it, show us. This was it. The moment I'd been planning for since my attorney Mitchell Price and forensic accountant Diana Ross had finished building their case 3 weeks ago. Okay, I said quietly, pulling out my phone. Let me call someone who can verify my financial situation. Who? Kevin scoffed. Your imaginary financial advisor? My bank manager, actually. I dialed. Hi, Robert. It's Sage Winters. I'm at a family dinner and there's some confusion about my financial situation. Would you mind stopping by? We're at 847 Maple Drive. Yes, my parents' house. Thank you. See you in 20 minutes. Dad's eyes narrowed. Your bank manager is coming here? On a Sunday night. Robert Chin is the vice president of private wealth management at Sterling Trust, I said. When you manage portfolios over $100 million, they make house calls. The table went silent. $100 million? Mom's voice cracked. That's not funny, Sage. I'm not joking. Kevin laughed nervously. Sage works from home in pajamas. She's not a millionaire. I work from home because I own the company, I said. CloudTech Security. We handle cybersecurity for government agencies and Fortune 500 companies. We have 340 employees and offices in 12 states. That's impossible, Dad said, but his voice wavered. The doorbell rang 18 minutes later. I answered it, letting in Robert Chin, impeccably dressed despite the Sunday evening hour. Behind him came two other people, Mitchell Price, my attorney, and FBI Special Agent Karen Voss. "Good evening," Robert said, entering the dining room. "I'm Robert Chin, VP of Private Wealth Management at Sterling Trust. These are Attorney Mitchell Price and FBI Special Agent Voss. We're here to address some financial matters concerning Ms. Winters." My family stared, frozen. "Let's start with verification," Robert said, opening his tablet. "Mr. and Mrs. Winters, you asked to see your daughter's financial statements to verify she has money to lend you. Here's what I can share." He turned the screen toward them. My parents' eyes went wide. Ms. Winters maintains primary accounts totaling $47 million in liquid assets. Her investment portfolio, which I manage, is valued at $293 million. Her company, CloudTech Security, is privately valued at $840 million, with Ms. Winters holding 85% ownership. Mom's face went white. Dad gripped the table edge. Combined net worth, approximately $340 million. Kevin's chair scraped backward. "That's not possible. She's just. Your sister is one of the most successful cybersecurity entrepreneurs in the country," Robert said calmly. "She's been building this empire for 6 years while you've been telling people she works from home doing something with computers." Mitchell opened his briefcase. "Now let's discuss why we're really here. Mr. and Mrs. Winters, over the past 6 years, you've taken $420,000 from your daughter through direct requests. But that's not the problem." He laid out documents. "The problem is the additional $680,000 in fraudulent debt you've accumulated in Sage's name. 12 credit cards opened without authorization. 3 auto loans including the Range Rover Kevin drives. And most seriously, a second mortgage on this house using Sage's credit and forged financial documents." Dad stood abruptly. "We didn't forge anything. Sage gave us permission." "Did I?" I asked quietly. "Show them the permission. Show them where I authorized you to open a Nordstrom card with a $40,000 limit and max it out on furniture. Show them where I agreed to co-sign Kevin's Range Rover loan." Silence. Agent Voss stepped forward. "Mr. and Mrs. Winters, we have security footage from 4 different banks showing you signing loan applications in your daughter's name. We have handwriting analysis confirming forgery. We have electronic records proving identity theft. This is federal fraud. We're her parents." Mom cried. "She owes us. We raised her." "You committed crimes," Mitchell said flatly. "Identity theft, credit fraud, forgery, wire fraud. These charges carry sentences of up to 30 years in federal prison." Kevin found his voice. "Sage, come on. You're not really going to press charges against your own parents." "I didn't press charges," I said. "The banks did. When the forensic audit revealed the fraud, they were legally obligated to report it. This isn't about revenge. It's about stopping you from destroying my credit and potentially my business." Robert pulled up another document. "There's more. The second mortgage on this house, the one obtained using Sage's forged information, is 3 months past due. The bank has initiated foreclosure proceedings." Dad's face went gray. "What? But we've been making payments." "You've been making partial payments," Mitchell corrected. "Insufficient to cover the loan you fraudulently obtained. The foreclosure is proceeding. This house will be seized and sold at auction. We'll be homeless." Mom gasped. "You'll be renters," I said quietly. "Like millions of people. You'll downsize. Budget. Live within your actual means instead of the lifestyle you've been financing through fraud." Agent Voss pulled out documentation. "You have 2 options. Option 1. Fight the charges, go to trial, face maximum sentences if convicted. Option 2. Plea agreement. Guilty pleas to reduced charges, 5 years probation, full restitution of the $680,000 fraudulently obtained, and cooperation with asset seizure." "We don't have $680,000, Dad whispered. "Then you sell everything," Mitchell said simply. "The house proceeds go to the bank for the fraudulent mortgage. The Range Rover gets repossessed. The jewelry, golf club membership, everything purchased with stolen money gets liquidated. You'll make monthly restitution payments for the rest of your lives." Kevin stood up, angry now. This is insane. Sage, you have $340 million. You could pay this off without even noticing. Why are you doing this? Because you need to learn that I'm not a bank, I said. I'm a person. Your sister. Your daughter. And for 6 years, you treated me like an ATM while telling everyone I was a failure. You stole my identity. You committed crimes. And you never once asked about my life, my work, or whether I might actually be succeeding. You were succeeding. Mom sobbed. You could have told us. Would you have listened? I asked. Or would you have just asked for more money? The silence was my answer. The plea agreement includes one more condition, Agent Voss said. No contact with Ms. Winters for a minimum of 2 years. No calls, texts, emails, or third-party messages. Complete separation while you serve probation and begin restitution. You're cutting us off completely? Dad's voice broke. I'm setting boundaries, I corrected. Something I should have done years ago. Mitchell closed his briefcase. You have 72 hours to accept the plea agreement. After that, we proceed to trial. I'd strongly suggest you get an attorney. As they prepared to leave, Robert handed me a folder. The refinancing you asked about. Proved. The penthouse purchase closes next week. Congratulations. Kevin's head snapped up. Penthouse. I'm buying a place downtown, I said. 3,000 square feet. City views. $4.2 million paid in cash. I looked at my family, Dad slumped in his chair, Mom crying, Kevin staring at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I always had been. You wanted to know my bank balance, I said. Now you know. I have more money than you ever imagined. And not $1 of it is yours. Not anymore. 6 weeks later, my parents accepted the plea agreement. The house sold at foreclosure auction. They moved into a 2-bedroom rental apartment across town. Kevin returned the Range Rover and started taking the bus. The golf club membership was canceled. Mom's jewelry collection was sold to pay restitution. The story went viral locally. Parents steal $680,000 from daughter's identity while she built $340 million fortune. Every person who'd pitted me for my little computer job suddenly knew the truth. I moved into my penthouse. Started hosting dinners for my actual friends, fellow entrepreneurs, my company's executive team, people who valued me for more than my bank account. And for the first time in 6 years, every dollar I earned stayed mine. My phone buzzed one evening. A text from Mom. Your father had a heart scare. We're okay, but I thought you should know. I understand if you don't want to respond. I'm sorry for everything. I stared at the text for a long time. Part of me wanted to call to check on Dad, to fix things like I'd always fixed things. But that's what they'd counted on. My need to help, to fix, to be the good daughter even while being robbed blind. I didn't respond. The no-contact order had another 18 months. Maybe after that we could talk. Maybe not. For now, I had a business to run, a foundation to launch, and a life to live without the constant drain of people who saw me as money instead of family. The penthouse had floor-to-ceiling windows. Every morning, I watched the sun rise over the city I'd conquered while my family was still asking what I did for a living. And every morning I felt nothing but peace. 6 months into the no-contact period, the foundation launched. I called it Second Chance Capital. Grants for people rebuilding after family financial abuse. The applications poured in. Hundreds of stories that mirrored mine. Adult children drained by parents who saw success as communal property. Siblings stolen from. Spouses exploited. I gave my mother $200,000 over 5 years. One application read. She told everyone I was unemployed and living off her charity. I was a nurse working double shifts. I funded her business idea. A home healthcare agency. Last I heard, she employed 27 people. Another applicant. My brother used my credit to buy 3 cars. My parents said I should forgive him because family is forever. I'm $90,000 in debt for vehicles I never drove. I paid off her debt and funded her education. She's finishing law school now, specializing in financial elder abuse and family fraud. Every grant I signed felt like rewriting my own story with a better ending. My company thrived. CloudTech Security landed a massive government contract. $140 million over 3 years. We opened offices in London and Singapore. Forbes called me the invisible billionaire because I'd built an empire while flying completely under the radar. Most tech founders crave attention, the article said. Sage Winters built a cybersecurity giant in silence, proving success doesn't need an audience. But success always finds an audience eventually. Kevin reached out through a mutual friend after a year. He's changed, the friend said. Working 2 jobs. Going to therapy. He wants to apologize. The no-contact order has 6 months left, I replied. He can wait. I wasn't being cruel. I was being consistent. Boundaries without enforcement are just suggestions, and I was done suggesting. My parents' restitution payments came like clockwork. $2,400 monthly automatically withdrawn. I donated every penny to Second Chance Capital. They were paying for other people's freedom while learning the cost of their own crimes. Poetic in a way. The 2-year mark arrived on a Tuesday. The no-contact order expired at midnight. I waited for the flood of messages, the desperate calls, the guilt-laden emails. Nothing came. A week passed. Then, finally, a single text from Mom. The order expired. I won't contact you again unless you want me to. I just wanted you to know I've been attending a support group for people who've financially abused family members. I'm learning why I did what I did. Your father's too. We don't expect forgiveness. We just wanted you to know we're trying. Mom. I saved the message. Didn't respond. Not yet. Maybe someday I'd be ready for that conversation. Maybe I'd never be. Either way, it was my choice now. My timeline. My terms. That's what they'd stolen most. Not just money but agency. The right to choose my own relationship with family instead of being trapped by obligation and guilt. 3 years after that Sunday dinner, I sold 20% of CloudTech Security to a private equity firm for $680 million. The same amount my family had stolen. The symmetry wasn't lost on me. I kept the majority stake, stayed on as CEO, and used the liquidity to expand Second Chance Capital into a full foundation with staff, legal resources and counseling services for financial abuse survivors. We helped 847 people in year 1. One afternoon my assistant buzzed. There's a woman here. Says she saw your Forbes interview and drove 6 hours. She won't leave without meeting you. I almost said no. But something made me agree. She was 53, tired-looking, hands shaking as she held out a folder. My daughter is a doctor. Makes $400,000 a year. I've been taking money from her for 15 years, telling myself she could afford it. Your story. I saw myself in your parents. She opened the folder. Bank statements showing transfers totaling $1.2 million from her daughter's accounts. I came here to ask how to stop, she said, tears streaming. How to give her back what I stole. Not the money, I can't repay that. But her freedom. Her peace. How do I do that? I looked at this woman, someone else's mother, someone else's thief, and saw the possibility my own parents might never reach. You start, I said quietly, by telling her the truth. All of it. Then you step back and let her decide if she wants you in her life. And you accept whatever she chooses without guilt-tripping her for setting boundaries. What if she never forgives me? Then you live with that, I said. Because the alternative, continuing to take, continuing to justify, continuing to steal, that's worse. For both of you. She nodded, clutching the folder like a lifeline. Thank you. After she left, I stood at my penthouse windows watching the city lights flicker on. Somewhere out there, a daughter might get her life back tonight. Might learn that setting boundaries isn't cruelty, it's survival. I picked up my phone and finally responded to Mom's text from 6 months ago. I got your message. I'm not ready to talk yet. But I'm glad you're getting help. That's a start. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, thank you for responding. I'll wait as long as you need. I love you. I didn't say it back. Love without respect is just control wearing a prettier mask. But maybe someday I'd believe she'd learned the difference. For now, I had 847 people counting on me to help them reclaim what family had stolen. And that felt like enough.